definitely looking forward to an incredible clash between Nigeria and South Africa. Here with me is Lorenz. Definitely, let's hear him talk to us about his background, his journey, and definitely how much he's excited going ahead of this encounter.
Yeah, so the big man Samuel, you can see big height difference here. You guys usually know him as the one who's covering women's football, but he's mixing it up these days. We are at the Ada Stadium in Agadir in Morocco, and we thought what better scenery to discuss what is happening next week with the mighty Super Eagles and Bafana. Let me add a mighty there as well before my people say I'm biased. But it's gonna be a big one. It's gonna be a really big one. I remember so much banter in the last game. It was the semi-final of the Africa Cup of Nations, which could have gone either way. But there's a lot on the line. There's a lot riding on this game in Bloemfontein. But there's also a lot of controversy already because they might change the pitch. Hugo Broos not happy with the pitch in Bloemfontein, and there might be a late change of stadium, but we'll see.
All right, but definitely everyone is talking, and key matter on the board right now is the ineligible player and deduction. I don't know. Definitely, I know it's going frenzy on the media right now. I know on the South African side and also on the Nigerian side, everyone is anxious what will FIFA decision is. But again, I don't know what's your take, because I think I had Bruce also lamenting how that error could also be very costly.
Yeah, I mean, he was very transparent about it, saying like, we made an error, we probably going to be punished, but let's get it done. Let's get it over and done with. Don't let it hanging. You don't know how you need to prepare for the game. Nigeria doesn't know what they need. South Africa, okay, they do know what they need, but you understand where I'm going. Like, they don't know exactly what they need. And South Africa also doesn't know exactly what they need because this thing has just been hanging. But the last two disciplinary reports that FIFA have ended, there was nothing. So to our understanding, that usually means nothing is going to happen, because he's saying that Lesotho didn't file a protest or a complaint, whatever it may be, to get that points deduction. I don't know where the rules fall in after that, but either way, it's going to be a big one that both teams definitely psychologically and for the points board, they need these 3 points. It's a must win for both teams.
All right, it's just like what happened during the WAFCON when Nigeria was going to face South Africa, and seeing what has also transpired on the women's side between both countries. South Africa, who is also keen to go to the World Cup for the first time in almost 15 years. What is the energy like? Because I know in Nigeria, many Nigerian fans feels this is for South Africa.
Yeah, look, there's a lot of positivity around the team. The team has been developing well. We've had the same coach for, I think he's the longest serving coach in South African football history now, in senior football. But with improvement and with constant wins comes more expectations, So how does the team handle that? But it's a very experienced group of players, the core. There's a lot of exciting young players coming through that we are hoping can be a generation that goes on to Europe, go on to the big teams and develop into a super team like we had in the past with Benny McCarthy and Quentin Forge and Lucas Radebe and what have you. But I genuinely think that momentum is key in international football. And when you have that momentum, you tend to get results. Nigeria at the moment don't have that momentum. So look, they're going to have to make it scrappy if they're going to have to win it. Yes, they have more individual quality than us. But there's just a lot of question marks around. Is the coach staying? Is the coach going? Who's going to be in the team? Who's your best 11? This and that. Fighting for points. Not happy with the board. Okay, nobody's happy with the federations these days. But there's a lot going on in the Nigerian space, and they need to sort that out as soon as possible.
But looking on the pitch side, looking at on-field activities, for Nigeria, definitely we know that we have individual stars like you did acknowledge, the likes of Victor Osimhen, you have Lukman, back-to-back African best player in Africa. You also have player like Alex Iwobi in the middle of the pack. Osimhen in attack, and probably Willem Troost-Ekong, Aina in the defense. I don't know. Tell us, who are the South African players Nigerians should also watch out for? It's definitely going to be a very eye-opening encounter.
Yeah, we know Teboho Mokoena is one of the stars of our national team. We've got Lyle Foster, who's now in the Premier League, and he's looked like he's become a serial goal scorer for us. But we've got a 19-year-old kid, Bekizele Mbokazi. He's been captaining Orlando Pirates in the last few games. He's a real prospect. He's an animal. And there's a lot of people talking in the media and a lot of people talking in the fans as well about seeing him in a real test against Victor Osimhen. So yeah, we're super excited to see that, and we want to see how he fares against that level of quality.
Yeah, but not ignoring we have a Nigerian in the South African team, and everyone is anxious. What definitely could this be for South Africa? Having a Nigerian, the Nigerian player in the South African team who everyone has also been talking about.
Yeah, Imi Ocon has been called up. He played in the COSAFA for us. There's obviously been mixed reception to having, I think it's more his name than anything else, because he is fully South African, born in South Africa, raised by a South African mother. His father unfortunately passed away with Nigerian father at a young age, but he grew up there. His brother is a South African sprinter as well. It's one of those things, like, if he plays in the national colors and he does well, then you know what I mean. But that in that interim of not knowing who he is, not understanding
conversations.
It's just a bit weird. However, he did have to pull out of the squad. He was replaced by Thabo Molosane from Stellenbosch a couple of minutes ago, and then Orlando Pirates number 10, who is quite popular, Patrick Maswangani. He was the second choice, number 10, behind Themba Zwane. He's also been forced to pull out, and Sipho Mbule replaces him in the squad. So that is two key changes into the 23-man squad ahead of the Lesotho and the Nigeria game.
All right, for me personally, I think I was fortunate to be at the 2018 World Cup in Russia, and seeing how disappointingly we exited that tournaments, when we had the opportunity against Argentina's almost worst outing at the World Cup, we bottled it in St. Petersburg. But for you, what will the memory be like, getting to ensure this team qualify for the World Cup after such a long time out?
The coach said it really well. It's like, this could be a World Cup that's the first and the last for this group of players, because it's very difficult to qualify for World Cup. Okay, it's been expanded, but Africa is a very difficult terrain, and the Super Eagles can attest to it. It's not the chalk and cheese. You go to Rwanda or Ethiopia anymore, and you qualify. It's a very difficult space, especially away from home. So look, I mean, we're hoping that this is the foundation for sustained progression. But yeah, I think in terms of the new generation, qualifying for the World Cup would not only bring fans back to the stadium and support and sponsors and momentum, like we were speaking about earlier, but also for a new generation of young footballers to dream of, wearing the Bafana shirt. Because I think over the last, let's say, 10 years, it's been less and less dreaming of wearing the Bafana shirt, and more maybe the Springboks, more maybe even a club team, more maybe even a cricket team, you know what I mean?
Right. So not ignoring on a personal level.
Yeah.
On a personal level. How crucial, how important would this be?
It'd be huge. It would be huge. From a personal level, I've not been to a World Cup because
except for one recently.
No, Club World Cups, club, but I haven't been to a FIFA World Cup because I've opted not to, because I feel like my bread and butter is South African football, you know what I mean? It's like, okay, I can go chase a Mohamed Salah, but it's not as powerful as my own country and things like that. So it would be huge for me, and a very big career milestone.
All right, well, for you guys, you've listened to Lorenz, and for me, I definitely will be looking forward to that game between Nigeria and South Africa. We can't wait to see how that encounter will really turn out to be another incredible form of African football. Is always tasty, bossy, and also dramatic football. And for South Africa, Nigeria is a renewed rivalry on many fronts. Definitely, you guys won't want to miss that encounter. And surely, I know he has a parting word for you guys, South Africans and Nigerians, who will be keen to see what the outcome will be like.
Derby Amapiano again.